Hi everyone, and welcome to lesson 3 and 4 combined today in the runes level 1. I do give my apologies for having to cancel yesterday. I have a cold. I'm not very tech savvy. I will let everybody know that. So before I actually came onto this live, I'm looking, was all set up. And there's a starting soon banner that appears. And so I said to Toni, it comes off. And she says, no, you take it off. I take it off for you. I says, I just vanished. I took it off. It just vanished itself. Toni says, no, I take that off. So when you understand my tech problems, should I say that I have within myself, and then not feeling well, it wasn't great yesterday to do these lessons. So I am sorry for that. But today, I'm quite excited. We're going to be doing 3 rune pulls and building narratives on those. And we're also going to be going into doing mini casts, the principles of casting, and actually techniques for doing mini casts. And when I say mini casts, I'll probably not be doing more than 5 runes at one time. This 4-day course has condensed quite a lot of elements, and we've not really gone into depth with regards to how, or should I say, more advanced techniques in doing things. So you'll notice I haven't gone into reversals because I'm trying to get you to start enjoying them. Reversals are something that I would integrate later on. It's not something that we do until further along in an endorsement, because the runes will tell you the story anyway, but these are all applicable as you're actually building within your skills and confidence to be actually utilising tools such as clusters, hidden and reverse. So with that being said, 3 rune narratives. Now on lesson 2, I actually went through the fundamentals of drawing runes from your bag or actually sensing them. And whichever way that you find more preferable, I would go with that one and really allow yourself to, be open to it and practice it consistently in order to gain confidence with it. So 3, I'm going to be turning the overhead and I will show 3 runes. Let me see. Move my tissues out there, sorry. I have my phone so I can see the comments coming up. So when doing a 3-rune pull, I'll be doing it out of my bag today. I won't be actually just doing it sensing, although I could do, I suppose. So we're just going to take out 3. Now, when I'm pulling these, I've got them face down. And like I say, the first one, if I was to pull that, it would be, reverse, but I'm not doing reversals, and I won't do reversals when I'm actually drawing them with my own hand. So if my hand is pulling those runes out of a bag, I will not read a reversal, because I cannot guarantee that it's not my hand that has actually put it in that position to begin with. So I'll only ever read when I'm pulling from a bag upright. So your first rune, algaes, opportunities, rapid developments, that raining, that bringing on down. So now you've got evas, prevention, deflection, defense. So right away you can say there's some opportunity that's actually been prevented at this time. An opportunity prevented. Even if you were to say there's something actually developing really quickly that's being, slowed down or prevented from moving forwards any further, it is still that same, an opportunity or something that's coming in is actually being blocked in some way. It's being prevented. And Tivas, you've got that integrity, honor, justice. It's official, it's karmic in that sense. It's about what's fair and just. So you could literally say from that there is some kind of opportunity that has been prevented because of some legality in some way. Now, that could be legal paperwork, that could be legal contracts, there could be something with regards to hours, something needing amended, but there's something actually that is preventing that. So you can see the way that actually you've got that first and you're linking it in with that second, and you can actually reiterate off, prevention of opportunities prevented. On the same, then adding in that third one, opportunities prevented, there's something unfair. It needs to be made fair. It needs to be made just. It's something that's to be made right. Something to be made, something that's right or is, or something is shown in its righteousness has been blocked because of some rapid development. So you actually can see the way that you can utilize the actual systemic keywords, and actually you can say there's an opportunity being prevented because there's something contractual in that essence, or official, because of that. Now, this officialness, something official, is being prevented because there's been some rapid developments. So rapid developments could be, finding out, well, we can't put this policy in, we can't offer these days annual leave, we can't give that, this isn't something that we can do. So you can see how the narrative remains the same, but running it back and forth against one another will give substantiation and corroboration into what it is that you're actually saying. I'll do some more. And as you see, I'm not asking questions, so I'm just literally reading the runes as they are. If I was asking a question, it will be applied in the same manner. Let's come out the same. Just take a drink of my tea. So you have Gibo. Gibo is all about gifts. It's our innate gifts which we have within ourselves. Also, it's not only the giving, but it's also being able to receive, because there is an exchange within that sense too. So you could say there's a need for fairness when gifting, or there's a need to be fair in what you're gifting. There's a gift that's honourable being given because it's necessary. So you can see even on that same connotation, it's still reiterating the same thing. There's something honourable in that essence of giving that gift, but it's done out of necessity, but even also making sure what you're gifting is fair, because that's, giving what's necessary, giving what's right. And you can even go, it's necessary, there's necessities. If this was a daily, there is necessities within the day. You're going to be giving and receiving, but there is a need for fairness. And you can see I'm starting on that middle rune, I'm bouncing to that first one, reiterating with that second one, moving on to that third one, and substantiating it again with that second one and moving it in. So you can always corroborate exactly what it is that you're seeing and why, because they will actually tell that story. They'll give the same but a slight alteration on that angle, which will actually provide, further clarification and substantiation as to exactly what it is that you're seeing. Now, I'll get these ones out now. Oh, they're all flying everywhere. And these are all techniques that the more that you actually become comfortable with your runes and see the ways in which you actually will display to you, it also helps you build in your confidence into how things actually are and the way things are really fluid, because they actually come together. And if you think about any kind of language, if you're thinking about the English language, for example, it has a flow with it. Every single language has its own, flow. It has its own tones, its ebbs, the ways in which it moves, where it, escalates in tone at times. and quietens at others. There's patterns and variations, and every single one is unique. And you think of it as like a song in an essence, and everybody's language is literally a different song. And it's about understanding the way in which things actually sing to you, and allow the runes to actually show you that, because it is like layers. You've got that first rune, and that first rune really sets the tone. You think of that, as being that intro coming in. That central rune is actually that absolute, it's that's the beat, and that's what's actually keeping everything within the day. It's a central aspect of it. And you think of any, with music, your beat, the time in which it's moving to, will actually, set the tone as to what it is you're hearing. So when you're looking at it as that way, it's like layers, and it all builds on and adds on. It's like baking a cake. It's like ingredients. You're just putting rune by rune the ingredients, and in the end, your narrative, your song, that is the cake that is actually being displayed to you. Again, if you're going to be feeling it. So we're just literally adding on to what it was that we were doing on lesson 2, which was 2 runes, and we're adding that third on. And you can see that actually, adding that third rune on is something that actually enhances and aids in the way in which you can actually read, in that sense, or the information in which you're able to get. And the more that you actually do pull, or cast, the more insight that you're going to actually get. So we have Uruz, Thurisaz, Gibo. Uruz is strength, it is fortitude, it is physical strength, it is mental. It's that absolute determination and fortitude. You think of that, strength. Then you have Thurisaz, conflict, assertion. It is aggressive, even if it's self-control that is that element within it. It's fiery in its nature. And then you have Gibo, which, as we spoke about, is a gift, that exchange of gifts, the gift of giving and receiving, the gifts that we have within ourselves. So you could say that is actually, strong conflict over some gift. There's going to be strong conflict over the gift. Or you could actually say, you're really going to harness all of your strength and fortitude. You're going to have to really draw in upon all your self-control when you're going out buying presents, which at Christmas time most people can relate to, I'm sure, where you want to get everything, but sometimes you need to rein yourself in, because you can go a little too wild. So that is like literally that, You could even, running it backwards, saying, a gift within yourself is even self-control and strength. Strong self-control. One of the gifts that you possess. But it's all about the control within self for certain. So I'll flip the camera over. And I'm going to actually answer some questions if anybody has any at this time on the live. And if not, I will answer any that's put in afterwards. Those 3, rune pulls and narratives are something that they're going to get easier and easier. And they'll actually, really aid that within. And I was just literally pulling at random. But if I was to be asking a question, you can imagine the ways in which that would actually present, that actual information that's coming, and the way in which it flows, because it goes back and it goes forth. You think about these runes are an incredible energy, and they demand reverence and they demand respect, and they will stand for nothing less than that when you're actually using them, when they're taught, you're conversing with them. So when you have that within that, you understand the enormity of the energy in which they carry. You've got your hands, you're placing your hands above, and you're allowing your hands to actually feel. It's not about, the strength within them at that point in time. It's also the strength within you, because it is a two-way. Because all of those energies within those runes are something which you possess within yourself. You have had to harness self-control. You have had to harness all of your fortitude in order to push it through the day. At times when you've most felt like giving up, to really have that endurance and that stamina to just keep on going. To be able to stand up for yourself, at times. To put that work in, to put effort into something, to be able to reap those rewards, to know that it's worth it at the end. To experience happiness, to experience love, to experience a feeling of oneness and wholeness, to actually understand the unexpected appears at times. It's something which actually, takes you by surprise, and sometimes it's in your favour and sometimes it's not. But that's luck, is it not? To understand the growth and the potential for growth within things. To understand that at times there's a need to actually defend yourself. There's a need to protect. We've all felt the warmth of the sun touching on our faces as we've looked upon the sky, and we've felt what that sensation is like, not just on our skin, but within us. And that is Sewillow. We have that energy. We have experienced those things within ourselves, and we can draw upon that at any time, whenever we need, when we're building our connections with our runes and moving forth on our journey after that. It is something with which you will only grow and grow within yourself too, as you understand these energies, the enormity, and also the amazingness of them. It is something that actually I love. I'm not going to lie. Andrea Borbus has asked what I can expect in my love life. I wasn't actually meaning questions like that, Andrea. I was meaning more questions about any of the lessons so far. However, I can answer that if you want me to. If you want me to do that with the runes, I'll do that now for you. I'll flip it over and then we'll move on to casting. Let me see. So, Andrea Borbus has a question of what to expect in their love life. Andrea expect their love life. So I'm feeling now, Andrea. So we have Hagalas, disruption, destruction, value, money, and naughties, need. Hagalas, value, and naughties is literally, what you can expect in your love life, that it will really, it'll impact upon your finances. So there might be a need for you to actually save and prepare for any disruptions with regards to finances with that. Now, runes are very, very blunt when it comes to relationships, and even if you were to look at value in the aspect of relationship as being, that abundance, the greatness of, then you would say that there's going to be, disruptions to the actual, abundance felt in the love life. And you could say with naughties there as well, due to compulsions. So watch your money, or watch how you're spending, shall we say, or watch how other people might try and spend. I don't know if you're with someone or not. If you're not, then when you do, be careful of, be aware that where your money's going, there might be a little bit more pulling in that sense. But even if it's not financial, the amazingness, that abundance of greatness, that effort that's put in, there's a lot of disruption to that, and it's due to some kind of compulsion. So something that's actually, they're driven to act in that way, or you are. So I would say it's quite disruptive. And the amazingness, is going to be disruptive due to some kind of compulsive behaviour in some way. Sorry. Rune, that's why I says when you say about love and asking with runes, I do say how blunt runes are. So if they do tell it how it is or how it will be, and they'll say it very matter-of-factly. They're a bit, in their essence, a bit similar to Gypsy Witch cards, which can, really tell it how it is too. So I'm going to put these in, and I'm going to start onto casting techniques. So I scribed to pick runes for her. No, I was actually holding my hands above the runes, allowing my hands to hover. So I wasn't scrying as in I was looking to choose one out. I was actually putting my hands over, and I was literally feeling the energy. And when I'm on a rune that I have to pick up, the energy actually, it's like a magnet. I start getting prickly and pulling. When it's a rune that actually I'm not, it's not wanting to be chosen at this time, it's almost like it's a magnet in the opposite, and it kind of repels. So when I have to take it, it draws me down, and when I haven't, it actually pushes me back to prevent me from taking it. So it's not scrying as in I'm looking and I'm seeing and I'm prophesizing, whether it's through a medium such as glass or even through cards like you do in tarot and different things. But I'm actually I'm feeling that energy, and I'm allowing those runes to choose, me to choose what they're wanting to display, whether it's pushing, hell no, this isn't the one for now, or here, I've got something to tell you, and pulling my hand onto it. And that's what I say about sense and the runes. I'm actually feeling their energy, and it's one that's very strong. I'm sorry, everyone, for my coughing and everything. That is cool. So we need to figure out how they talk to us and how they feel. Yes, because it's a personal thing, and actually allow them. They will communicate. They're very communicative, because they like to tell you how it is. So next up, I'm going to put the overhead back on, and we're going to look at casting. Now, casting with runes, for me personally, I love using, I absolutely love using cards and bigger rune sets like, these, when it comes to actually doing like daily reads or something like that. If it's something that I'm going to be posting an imagery of, I really love doing, using cards as when I'm doing houses, for example. And that's a technique that I teach in endorsement, later on as well. And all these things, the cards are beautiful, but casting is something that's significant. It is sacred. You're there, you're sat, you've got them in your hand, you're actually allowing, you're formulating that question as you're playing with them all in your hand all of the time. And then when it feels right, you're casting, and that, the patterns in which are going to come, you're going to see narratives, you're going to see storylines, you're going to see little side stories, and all those things are actually, magnificent as a way for divining. But literally, with runes, you've got your hand, and you're thinking of a question. So as you can see, they're all different directions and there's some hidden. And I'm not going into these ones today. I'm actually going to turn each one of those upright. Now, you can see the ways in which it's kind of sat there. There's 5 out. But with runes, you're reading in a linear fashion. So you're going up, central. This is the start of your time frame. So if you're asking about your love life in 6 months' time, if you're asking about your work for the next month, or you're asking what's going to happen within your day-to-day, this is going to be the closest to you, is going to be the beginning of that narrative. That is the starting point. And then as it moves up, you're moving up in that straight line. And that is actually going to be, this is the outcome. So, you have your starting point, it runs up, so the beginning and the ending. You always have your central line. Now, I've put this down here for purposes because it's going to be making it a lot easier for you. Things that land on this side are going to be what's hindering or negatively impacting or impeding on what's happening in this line. And the things on this side, this is all what's positively influencing, positively aspecting this happening. So, so you've got, this is helping and this is hindering. This is going to be a struggle. This is going to aid you. And so you've got your narrative going up. Now, looking even as just a general, literal, without a question, it's that flow is essential. Flow is essential. What is that flow? And if you would look at that, then flow is essential. That emotional ability, even you would say from that emotional ability, or there's a, water flow, there's a necessary for water flow. But anyway, what's going to aid that? Actually kind of controlling that flow. Know that you're in control of your emotions even. And I'll say it's emotions just because of how it's displaying the runes that's around. Because I've got others and I've got happiness within that. I've even got that, that kind of conflict within self. So a necessity, I wouldn't look at anything. Looking at how those runes are presented, I cannot say it's anything else based upon emotions. Emotions are a necessary thing, but emotions are necessary. Going with the flow. Self-control will aid that being able to go with the flow more, because you're actually self-control is negating on the reactiveness. You think about these two actually, control, conflict. Well, you can't see it's conflict because it's positively aspecting it. So then if it's not conflict, then it's control. So it's self-control because you're controlling. It's positively impacting to the control of emotions. It's essentially down to yourself. It's not always about things that make you happy. The greater good is also, doing things for the greater good actually brings that is what's needed. So you can actually say, your emotions are something that only you can control. You actively controlling those emotions and doing things for the greater good is actually, bringing things to necessity. So doing things out of necessity because it is in that greater good. It's that humanitarian aspect, and things aren't always about happiness. So you can see the way in which it actually flows within that. Now I'll pull those ones out of my bag. What I'll show is, now I've got really small hands. So I have, my chips are like standard size, but I have got some small ones and bigger too. So again, you're just sitting, this is, you're rolling them, allowing them all to just merge, the It's almost like they're conversing with one another, deciding what story they're going to tell. You know, you're allowing yourself to become one with them, and they are also becoming one with you as you're actually thinking on the question with which you're wanting to ask. I'm going to cast that again because I haven't done it right. Cock my cast up. I'm going to move these down because these were up just for the purpose of that. Now that's only 4. But mini casts or something, you know, don't go over 5 unless you're really kind of confident in and wanting to build up those numbers. Now with this, you know, you can actually say, because you can see that line is flowing, it's a clear narrative, you know, there isn't, when you can, but there's a positively aspect. And again, so I would look at that all as a narrative. My question, I actually asked the question, you know, guidance for everyone who's wanting to really learn and master runes, see the abundance, and actually the rewards will in fact pay off, but not for a while. And you're going to feel like you're getting stuck at times. You're going to feel like, you know, your connection's actually blocked, but it's going to bring a unity. Have patience. You will feel at one with those runes. You know, you've really just got to be able to handle the ways in which they assert themselves, and also you assert yourself within that. And those are the actual principles for casting. You start, your time frame starts from where you are closest to you, and the further away from you, the further in time things are. If I was to be doing a private reading, if I was to be doing a professional reading with casting, I would be doing, you know, multiple casts, and I mean multiple. If it was written, I'd be writing 2,000 words, but I would be doing a cast, full 20 rune cast, 24 rune cast on an overview of the year, followed by 12 consecutive casts of what's going to be happening from each month to month. So, and also, if anything was to come up, I would also do further if needed for that. But that shows you the amount of information that you can actually extract, and the ways in which, you know, multiple castings are something that you shouldn't ever, you know, fear. Do more, because you're only going to get more information. If you did one cast of 24 runes and told somebody what was going to happen in 12 months, that's 2 runes per month. Think about that. That's 2 runes. You can pull 3 for a day. You can pull 5 for the day. Pull 24 for the day as well, but you'd get the ins and outs of everything. So 2 for a month. You want in a full month, you want to know what's happening, you want to know what's going to be working in that month for you and what's not. 2 runes isn't going to tell you that. You need all 24. So really, you know, practice your casting, and then start building, you know, building up on how many runes that you're actually casting. So go from 5 to maybe 7 to 9. You know, really get comfortable with the actual essence of what casting is, and actually the ways in which you can really harness a lot of magic with regards to runes. Thank you, everyone, for the honour of being able to teach you all this week. It is something that I have really enjoyed. I love runes and I love going through them, and you know, I wish I had, you know, more days that I could actually go through more things with you. But I hope this has served well as a refresher for those that's, you know, reacquainting themselves. It's maybe excited someone who's new to it and wanting to do more. And we have lots of courses in WTA, and I would recommend anyone, you know, to take them. And we have everything for runes in every way. Even Safari's doing it with True Crime and using runes as an actual articulation of crime scenes and also how crimes have been committed with that. We have got a offer on, I think I've written it down for a code for everyone. So no, letter numbers 40 and then the writing for you is a 40% off for anybody that's wanting to do any of these courses after being on the lives. If you do, I look forward to seeing you further in the WDA. And if this is where we part ways, I wish you the best of luck on your runes journey, and I really hope that you actually enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you sometime soon. Goodbye.